noticed that something wasn't quite right when we got back from our last trip from Tennessee. All right, this is our first time with no water, no septic, anything like that, for the most part, especially for an extended stay. We're going to be here for a week. 2.2 gallons a minute. We've got an 80-gallon tank, and we're going to fill it. So you do the math. All right, our first taste of local fare here. It's like we're at the Beechwood Grill. Like, you're getting old, but when you do that, now you're old.
This doesn't work for you?
No.
No?
Lake Michigan is the second largest of the Great Lakes by volume, third largest in surface area.
Candace was totally looking forward to the carousel, but unfortunately, it's children only. If you guys have been following us and you've been watching our videos, you know that our very first underway, the refrigerator did not stay shut, and basically the entire contents came out all over the floor back here behind the island, and it was a huge mess we had to clean up on a travel day.
Well, the entire refrigerator is on the floor.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah. I don't know if you can.
Oh boy. So the pillow idea didn't work for us. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We'll go to Walmart tonight and we'll see if we can find one of those suction cup handles. So our fix for that was we bought just one of these suction cup grab bars. It goes on these doors on travel day. And this thing is rock steady as far as, you know, the door's not coming open. They're not going to come open with this thing on there. I mean, look at this thing. It's pretty beefy, right? Now let's get to the issue that we currently have. And we noticed that something wasn't quite right when we got back from our last trip from Tennessee. There was a little bit of damage to the linoleum right under the front edge of the refrigerator. And it looked like the bottom of the refrigerator had walked itself out just a little bit. So we wanted to keep an eye on it. Now we have a very significant hole in the floor here in the kitchen, in the linoleum, that's actually gone completely through the linoleum and has started damaging the plywood underneath. We have this strap that goes across the top here, and then it screws into the side trim pieces that go around the refrigerator here. And this is the only thing right now that's securing this entire refrigerator and keeping it from walking out completely on travel days. So what you can see down here at the bottom is this little 3/4 by 3/4 strip of wood that goes across, was at some point and is supposed to be screwed into the floor here in the kitchen. You can see the screw holes in the wood. You can see where the screw holes went into the floor, but then somebody took those screw holes out, and I don't know why. So the only thing that's left here on our refrigerator is these metal feet that should have screws going through them and then all the way into the floor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the drawers out of this freezer. I'm going to take the screws out that I think are at least partially holding this refrigerator into place onto the floor. And then I need to push this refrigerator all the way back against the wall. Then what we'll do is we'll take that 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch strip of wood. We'll get it mounted in place where it should be. And then we're going to get the screws through the feet of the refrigerator properly installed into the floor. So that's the plan. That's what I think I'm going to be able to do here. So let me get everything set up here, and then we're going to get this fixed. There. See, that's where it should be. That's where that's where those holes line up, right there. So there we go. I think we've got this fixed for now anyway. The thing that might be a little hard to see is those feet actually rest up against that piece of wood that goes all the way across. So I've got 4 screws holding that piece of wood in place, and then the refrigerator can't come any more forward because those feet are resting on that strip of wood. And then I've got a screw in each of the feet to also just help the refrigerator from moving, you know, either direction. What I think I'm actually going to do here is go out there and get 2 more screws, one for each foot. Then I'm going to have 8 points of contact here that should keep this refrigerator from moving anywhere. All right, like a dummy, I didn't have my microphone on. It was turned on, but I wasn't wearing it. Anyway, enough about that. We got this fixed. Now, let's see, it's about 9 o'clock. We want to get underway at about noon. So we're just going to kind of leisurely work our way through getting the rig ready for an underway day. So I noticed this morning as I was emptying the forward gray tank, this one was shooting water out from 2 different spots. So this one's going in the garbage today. You know, who knows how long it was leaking. I don't think it was leaking before we left on this trip, but who knows. But it's going in the garbage. I got 2 brand new ones anyway, so see you later. So how much water do you guys load on travel day? I try to put about 5 gallons in there, and that seems to get us, you know, once I disconnect the water, that seems to, you know, let us wash our hands maybe a couple of times, go to the bathroom once or twice, really on either end of the trip. So before we get on the road, and then after we get on the road when we get all set up. And then if we have any bathroom breaks in between, as long as we're kind of conservative with it, that seems to get us through an entire travel day. So I don't know, just curious as to what everybody else travels with out there. How much fresh water do you load? Obviously, if you are loading out for some boondocking, you're gonna fill up. But you know, for just a normal travel day, when you're gonna pull in somewhere with water, how much water do you guys carry with you as you're traveling down the road? This is our first time with no water, no septic, anything like that, for the most part, especially for an extended stay. We're going to be here for a week. So this is our first time using one of these dump stations like this to fill up and you know, get all the water that we need. We don't have to dump right now. We dumped before we came, so I know it's not exciting for most people, but it's a first for us. And I just wanted to point something out there for all you 390 owners out there. This door, they started putting these latches or these little straps on here, you know, because you guys know that the furnace is right behind there, or not the furnace, but the water heater is right behind there, and it'll melt your door. I went out and I just cut one of these little squares, put 4 screws in it, and put me a little hook and eye on there, and it works out great. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to have that on there with high winds, but you know, it'll take a little bit of wind, and it's worked out great so far. So anyway, I'm gonna get started. So I think I'm actually gonna hook up. You want the filter and the water softener? No
Filter?
reason not to. Nobody
Yeah.
or anything. So okay, we'll do the whole shebang. So for those of you who don't know out there, we are water snobs. We like good water. We like our soft water. I did a little video, I think a couple weeks ago on the water softener, but even in these areas where we have to use the dump station to fill up, you bet your butt we got the filter and the water softener going. Gonna be here a while. 2.2 gallons a minute. We've got an 80-gallon tank and we're gonna fill it. So you do the math. I'll let you do that. first taste of local fare here. It's like we're at the Beechwood Grill. Menu looked really good.
Yes.
So like everything from tacos to steaks to mahi, they got it all. So we're gonna go in and have a huge lunch because I'm starving. What about you?
I am starving. Neither one of us ate breakfast. This might be breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see what happens. Okay, so once again, you know how I can tell you're getting old, lady?
This is just convenient.
Yep, the glasses on the top and the glasses on the face.
That's right.
That's how you know you're getting to be old. But at least you're not putting the sunglasses over the regular glasses. Like you're getting old, but when you do that, now you're old.
This doesn't work for you?
No.
No?
That was good. It was a toss up between, what was it? An olive burger, which was basically a burger with just Swiss cheese and like some kind of olive spread, and then some kind of Santa Fe chicken wrap. I went with a wrap, mostly because I thought it was going to be a lot cleaner to eat. Because you guys know how it is. You go to a restaurant, you get a burger, and it's like it's a quarter-pound burger with 10 pounds of stuff on it, and it just gets everywhere. My wrap was just one tortilla with 10 pounds of stuff in it, and it got everywhere. But it was super tasty. And you had the Reuben.
No, I had the Cuban.
The Cuban, that's right. She had the Cuban.
And it was a pretty good Cuban as far as Cubans go.
Yeah.
So, and the fries were amazing. Those, I don't think they're actually cheese curds, but they were...
Cheese squares, fried cheese squares, Parmesan cheese.
I could have made a whole meal out of those.
Yeah, you would regret. Well, we ate them all anyway, but
We did, yeah. But I could have just stopped there.
yeah, but we didn't go overboard. We both ate half.
Yep. So now we have dinner tonight. So
Yeah, that's always a good way to go. But like I told Candace, if anything expands in my stomach, I'm screwed.
Lake Michigan is the second largest of the Great Lakes by volume, third largest in surface area. It is 307 miles long, 118 miles wide at its maximum width, and 91 miles wide at its minimum. It is the only Great Lake located fully in the United States. The other four are shared between the US and Canada. So, it is the world's largest lake by area, located fully in one country, and is shared from west to east by Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. The word Michigan is believed to come from the Ojibwe, meaning great water. So, that's your history lesson for today, or your geography. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit that bell button so you're notified when we drop future videos. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps keep these videos coming to you every week. We really like hearing from all of you, so if you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggested topics, pop those down into the comment section.
All right, if you know me for a while, you know that there's almost nothing I love in the world more than breakfast. I think I love breakfast more than I love my own family.
Probably.
I would eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And for all of you Navy guys out there, for mid-rats too. And Candace just found this bakery here in Holland. What is it called?
DeBoer's Bakery. And it happens to be right next to where we ate lunch today.
And it caught our attention at first because she said they had some kind of maple donuts.
Maple bacon donut, which...
So then she was reading through the menu, and then...
Yeah, he had already said, okay, we're going there first thing, blah, blah, blah. They roast their own coffee. They get it from around the world. But they've got things like your classic BLT, chicken and waffles, custard-dipped French toast, a breakfast strudel, 2 over-easy eggs atop our buttery, flaky puff dough, loaded with ham, sausage, bacon, onion, green peppers, cheddar cheese, Gouda cheese, and covered in our sausage gravy, served with choice of potato.
All right, I don't know that that's my favorite on the menu. But what is my favorite on the menu?
Well,
Biscuits.
if you go down, his all-time favorite, Old World biscuits and gravy. So 2 fresh-baked buttermilk biscuits covered with our house-made sausage gravy, served with 2 eggs any way you want them.
I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
With all of these menu items, like when I go to restaurants, especially for breakfast, when they have breakfast, I feel like I have to eat all of the breakfast. But you can't eat all the breakfast in one sitting. So I think we're going to go every day this week. We're going out for breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we gotta try it all.
This is not going to be good for the waistband.
Not on the waistline, no.
Well, we screwed up, and I'm a little bit panicky this morning because I really wanted to go out to breakfast, but I really, really wanted some donuts this morning, and we slept in too long. Candace has got to be at PetSmart to drop Wicked off for grooming at 10 o'clock. It's 8:30, and we don't have any breakfast, and we don't have any donuts. So I'm making an emergency trip to the bakery because I was dreaming about donuts all night long. Maple bacon donut with a whole slice of bacon on top. I finally saw a picture of it. Only problem is I read that you got to get there early to get the good selection at the bakery. Well, it's 8:35. I don't know if that's early to these people or not. So if I don't get my maple bacon donut here, it might not be a good day. So that was a failure. It wasn't a total failure, but I didn't get any maple bacon donuts. They were all out. I guess they had an unusual number of large orders this morning, so all the maple bacon donuts were gone. I did get some other good ones, though. Well, at least they look good. We'll see. All right, you ready for this? This is the big reveal on the donuts this morning. Again, you know, I didn't get what I went there for, but they still look pretty delicious. So we've got a cream filled. I think that was called a Holland cream. We've got just kind of a chocolate glazed. This is I don't remember. Oh, this is a salted caramel, and they call this one a payday. But first I got to earn these. I'm going to head out for a run along the beach, and then when I get back from that, I'm going to sit down with a nice cup of coffee and a donut. Or 2. Well, my knees aren't what they used to be, and neither is my weight. That probably has something to do with the knees. But that was my 1.75 miles. Probably a little bit more than I should have done on this knee today. But come on, how can you turn down a run with this view? All right, got the run out of the way. I kind of earned it. It was kind of a short run, but I'm not going to eat less donut because I ran less. Just the way it is. I think they call it a Holland cream.
Okay.
Payday.
Okay.
Salted caramel. Ooh. And this is just basically the chocolate covered. I want half of that one to start with.
All right. I might have half of that with you.
Well, I'm thinking the Holland cream.
Okay.
Cream filled. He thinks he's getting some. He's hoping he's going to get some. But he would be wrong.
Donuts are not for puppies.
There was a lot of hype about that restaurant we were just in. Heard a lot of hype about it last night. I got the biscuits and gravy. Probably the best biscuits and gravy I've ever had. The gravy was really good, but the biscuits were the best biscuits I've ever had. They were so buttery. They were really buttery. Most places when they make biscuits and gravy, the gravy might be really good, but most of the time the biscuits are just hard, or they're super dry, or they just don't have any flavor. These are the best biscuits I've ever had.
And he's had a lot of biscuits and gravy.
Yeah,
So
I'm sort of a biscuits and gravy connoisseur. So that was what I had. And you had what?
I had the corned beef hash, which I have never had. Well, I take that back. I had corned beef hash as a child out of a can, and I loved it as a kid. I mean, I loved the Hormel, but this was totally different. That was really good, and so we had to look it up. What does corned beef mean? So corned beef or salt beef is salt cured brisket, which I like a good brisket, so there's that. But the corn comes from the treatment of the meat with large grained rock salt, also called corns of salt. So
there you go. That's where the corned beef. I always assumed it was had something to do with corn, like maybe the cow ate a bunch of corn. I don't know.
I always thought it was more of a Cornish thing. So
Cornish, no, yeah.
But so
Well,
not.
neither one of us were right.
We were not right.
Not even close. So we're on now. Where are we going first today?
We are going to Windmill Island Gardens. There's a windmill, there's a street organ, there's a carousel, there are some Frisian horses. We missed the tulips, they're gone. So
That's okay. We've seen tulips before. All right, well, we got to get there and get out and start walking around because I got to walk some of that off.
We both finished our breakfasts and
Almost forgot.
oh yeah.
I have enough room for like a bite or maybe two.
And I already took a look at this and
Oh, baby.
I have never seen a maple bacon donut with like legit bacon strips.
Bacon.
Normally it's like crumbled.
Here goes nothing. I'm not going to be able to get to the bacon on the first bite.
Is it filled?
I think so. Bite?
No.
No. I got a little bit of bacon on it. Delicious.
Yeah.
Saving the rest for later. And that was definitely the best maple bacon donut I've ever had because of just the straight up piece of bacon on it.
It looked like good bacon.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, it's like thick bacon. It's not like a lot of times you get those donuts and they're like Bacon Bits bacon. Mm-hmm. Not good. Bacon Bits go on a salad, not a donut. So.
I don't even know if they go on a salad.
What?
I mean.
Well, I mean, if you're at the Ponderosa salad bar.
True.
No. All right, that's it.
Medium aged, Gouda aged, and they're small over there.
Yeah, I wonder how many people have stuck their grubby fingers in there.
Let's try this aged one. So that one was aged 18 months. This one's aged 24 months.
Oh. Wow.
We're here at Windmill Island Gardens here in Holland, Michigan, and it's a really nice 70-degree day, very little wind. And behind me, you will see the DeBoer, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, windmill, which was brought over in 1964. It's the last working windmill to leave the Netherlands. So this windmill still has a working mill that still grinds grain to this day. I believe right now the mill is not in production for the flour. I don't remember the reason, but we'll still be able to get a tour and check it out.
Now the mill's not currently in operation. You can see though how just huge this thing is. This is one of the actual blades right here behind Candace. And it's, would you say 125 feet from the ground to the top of the blades. It's not currently in operation right now because they are doing training on how to basically use it and grind stuff, whatever it is they're grinding. So it's not currently in operation, but it is an operational mill.
And when it is in operation and they are grinding flour, the flour can be purchased either here or I guess they ship to some of the local stores. So they actually sell what they produce.
Okay, so the tour guide over there at DeBoer, the windmill, told us that typically over in that part of the world where that windmill came from, so in this case the Netherlands, those windmills are generally just sitting right on the ground. So as you can see back here on this one, it's actually pretty tall. It's got 5 floors in it, or 5 stories. And so this original windmill, when it was brought over, number one, was broken down into 7,000 pieces. And then they brought it to the area here in Holland, Michigan, and then they put it back together. It took about 6 months to put that back together. But originally, the first 3 floors that you see here in the background, those were not there. It just sat basically just on the ground over there because the area that they typically had these windmills, you didn't need to elevate it. You didn't need to get it up in the air. It had plenty of just wind coming off of, normally right off the water or, you know, across the fields. The only time they had to elevate them was if it was in or around a city or a small town where that airflow was blocked. So that's just something that I thought was interesting off of that tour, was that the first 3 stories that you see over there weren't originally part of it, and they normally just kind of sit on the ground like that. Candace was totally looking forward to the carousel, but unfortunately, it's children only.
I mean...
And there's actually an age specification on that. So yeah. I can't just walk up and be like, well, I identify as a child.
I identify as a 12-year-old today, because that's the age cutoff.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we're gonna skip the carousel and head over to, what is it, the street organ?
Yes.
They have a street organ that sounds really freaking loud. All right, that was Windmill Island Gardens here we're still in Holland, right?
Still in Holland.
All right, so this is actually in Holland. This is a stop that I would recommend for anyone. Doesn't matter how young or old, I think it's interesting for everybody.
Yeah, it's totally walkable by everybody, even if you're in a walker.
Yeah, and Well, I meant more like it's interesting for everyone. You know, kids are going to love to see that windmill. I think, you know, go inside of it. They're going to want to be on the carousel. They're going to want to see the street organ.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm 49 years old and I wanted to see all that stuff too. I even wanted to go on the carousel, but I couldn't. So anyway, this was a good stop. It was how much? 12 bucks a person, right?
Yes. For adults, and then kids are 6, I think 3 and over or something.
One of the bonuses of coming today was the tour guide that we talked to in the windmill gave us a great recommendation on what to do tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil it now, but it's going to be really cool, I think, tomorrow.
Yes.
Really, really cool adventure.
Yep.
All right, we're done. Out.